Okay. I think we wait for Kevin first.
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Kevin Williams. I'm a vice president of Isaac and the chair of the lead committee. I serve as liaison between Isaac and Cam on Wheels to facilitate the Isaac Reporter project. I welcome you to the second of 3 webinars for using film as communication. This particular webinar is named Let's Start Filmmaking. This will give you some practical solutions on how to use AAC and film technology to tell stories and make films. Just before the Isaac Connect Short Film Festival, which deadline has been extended to June 25th. Before we get started, I would like to remind you, depending on time, we welcome you to ask questions in the question pane. And any questions we don't get to, we will answer in email after the webinar. Without further ado, here is Mascha from Cam on Wheels.
Well, welcome. Thank you, Kevin, for the nice introduction. I will do a short introduction. Welcome. We are in Cam on Wheels. It's a film studio. Normally it's full with students. It is here very quiet now. It's me. Far away, there's Chris working in a separate part of the studio. Well, today I really want to focus on how we can make film and how you can make your own films, especially with the film festival coming up. So we want to walk through, and then I introduce everyone. Okay, the content of this webinar will be, I tell a little bit about Studio Cam on Wheels, but those are only the persons who are going to assist you in the process of filmmaking if you wish. I give a bit of background why we're doing this, and then I will focus on filmmaking and AAC and how you can merge those two to make beautiful productions. And we hope to promote everyone to maybe become a reporter for Isaac, or make their own film for the film festival, which is coming up this summer at Isaac. Well, I try to be short. My name is Mascha Legel. Originally I'm an anthropologic filmmaker, ethnographic filmmaker. I'm a teacher at special needs school. I learn young children and young adults how they can make their own film for language development, but we will focus on another webinar about that, the last one. But today I will explain how we do that at Cam on Wheels, and that's our studio. Next to that, I'm a researcher at the Radboud University, specialized in AAC, and work closely with Dundee University. I like to introduce Chris, who is there, but he's over there.
Hi there. Yeah, I'm Chris. I just recently completed a PhD where I was investigating early intervention and helping children and young people to better use, to provide better support for children and young people with complex communication needs in special education. And I also work with the Cam on Wheels crew in various different guises. Yella.
Hello, my name is Joe, 29 years old. Last year graduating as audiovisual specialist, and now I am working by Cam on Wheels as cameraman and editor.
That's it for now. Okay, good. This is nice. We're swapping from different areas. Seems to work. Sorry, here I am. Thank you, Jelle. We're at Camera Wheels. It's a studio where we work with film students and kids and young people from a special needs school. They learn to make their own film productions. It's part of their high school program. They do that for themselves, but also to become professional filmmakers. Next to that, we teach with the whole crew. I have to ask Chris, you have a huge echo. So that's what we do here daily. Now it's really quiet, and we're looking forward that we finally can do proper education again, since because of the corona, we have been a bit low with students here and a lot of online. So maybe that will help during this presentation. The idea what we're doing is based on the idea of film as observable communication. That means that you make your own film footage, then you prepare it, and you can share those stories. We built teaching programs for that. Again, that will be in the last webinar. But it can also be for yourself, just to assist yourself in storytelling and then combine it with AAC. The most important thing, I think, for our method is that the storyteller with complex communication needs, or as Kevin would say, an augmented communicator, makes his own films, and he can ask for assistance from the people around him. But there are many ways now that the storyteller with AAC can make his own film footage. For example, with this film footage, you see this Sharon. She's on a horse. This is her perspective. This is the perspective for the people from around her. And we try to focus and promote in the field of AAC that children and adults start to make their own movies. But of course, many of them still need all the help they can get. But then again, in the lead is the person with CCN, complex communication needs. So Chris, maybe you can tell us something about AAC.
Hi, it's me again. Okay, so as I say, I've been researching ways to support children and young people in special education to use their AAC devices, so talkers or speech generating devices, for example, and using them as tools to help them develop communication skills, to boost their engagement with family, friends, and of course, everyone else out there. So the big thing about film media, the advantage that this project seeks to exploit, is the ability to easily capture visual information, but also sounds, thoughts, emotions, ideas, and other cues. Give the background detail for what is going on in any particular story. And of course, for those of us who use AAC technologies to help us communicate, we need the appropriate words or symbols available to us to go with our films that we create, so that we can talk about them with our communication partners. And in this way, AAC technologies can complement our reporters' self-created films, supercharging the way film as observable communication users can interact with and share their stories with others. Now, stories are a mixture of images and words, and both are equally important in film as observable communication, allowing each communication partner to join in and contribute, and helping augmented communicators to share the stories that they want to share quicker and with less effort than without one or the other. Next slide. Thank you.
So if you make a kind of a compact thing of AAC and filmmaking, there is a couple of stages you walk through. And that could be the filming and the story pre-production. That means that before you go out there to make your own film, you prepare yourself. And I will come back on all those points after the part Jelle is going to say. So we talk in this webinar about the pre-production of filmmaking and how you use AAC in that, the production, the filmmaking on itself, the experience and collecting your story. Then the post-production, these are professional film terms. This today, if you really, you learn the professional terms also. Then the post-production is the editing, and in a way a story preparation, because then you're ready to share your story. And that could be for yourself, that could become your own film production YouTube channel, or for Isaac Reporters or the film festival. I have to refer here to Nicola Grove, who made this idea about story collection, preparation, and sharing. You can watch more information about this on soon on the Isaac Camel Wheels YouTube channel, but we skipped the promo for today because we've got better stories. And I love to give the spotlight on Jelle.
During my previous workshop, I told you that I graduated in 2020 as an audiovisual specialist. In this workshop, I want to discuss the production process. How do I start this process? First, I'll start with the topic. Who is the client? What is the client's wish? What style is desired, and where should it be included? Based on the data I have collected, I will get started. With the help of text programs, I start with creating a script. If I'm going to do an interview, I prepare a list of the possible questions. When that is done, I start looking for a suitable location. For this, you can investigate possible locations that are accessible by a wheelchair, or perhaps even better, you can go to previously tried and tested locations. I will have already programmed the interview questions that I prepared earlier into my speech generating device. This is simply an iPad with a voice output app from Assistiveware. I test and listen to check my questions and, when necessary, I correct any language or grammatical errors. Once all this has been arranged, the production process can begin. The day before I start shooting my movie, I charge all my equipment. This will include my speech generating device, my wheelchair, and, of course, my camera. I also check again whether all the questions I wish to ask are there. I prepare all equipment on location, place an extra microphone near the speech generating device and test the sound. If I'm going to film with several people, and I have to give them directions, I can do so that way too. I will have already programmed standard sentences. As the exposure has to be default, which recording format we are going to shoot, and other simple sentences that are often needed. Then we will film, and I will operate my camera manually or with a remote control. After everything has been filmed, I will start editing. First, I assemble everything together. When I am satisfied with my editing, I will always put a subtitle under it. These can be the interview questions or the voiceover. If I'm going to use a voiceover, I'll record it as a separate audio file and place it below the video. In the next video, you can see how I do this when the entire video is completely assembled. Hopefully my description of these processes is clear. If not, then you can always contact me personally for an additional explanation or any further information I can help you with.
Well, I think the nice adventure of this webinar is how we give a very short time training in making film. Kevin said also, we are here for questions. So if you have any questions, just tell me. Thank you, Jelle. So we're going to watch a little bit of a movie with Jelle made, but it's not a total edit, I have to say. It's more that we want to show the impression how he works, and that you see all these different levels of filmmaking and AAC merging to one thing during all the different stages of pre-production and post-production. I am a bit clumsy in this, but I will get there. Sorry. You have to help me with my glasses. So we go here. This last part is in Dutch because that's a production we're busy with now, but I will try to, I hope to translate it in between. So already you can see, yes, typed text made by assistive wearers. I'm not making advertisement, but it is AAC technology there. And you will hear his voice.
Over de corona-vlogstream bij maken en wat de impact heeft op het dagelijkse leven met een beperking die niet nauwelijks of moeilijk sprekend zijn, maar wel normaal intelligent zijn. Zij kunnen door de film en hun verhaal vertellen. Kleurrijke schoenen moeten omschrijven. Zou u dit dan kunnen doen door middel van film? En hoe zou u dat dan doen?
This went really quick. I go back. So here you hear him talking, the prepared text where we were talking about, right? Yeah. Never like to talk for Jelle, but I try to point out what we did here, or what he did here. So there's a part of pre-production in the preparation, and then it becomes a kind of a vlog when you edit it later, or you do it on the moment. If I go a bit further, this is our famous Minister of Health, Hugo, who was here. This is production with the editing in Dutch. You see from this point of view, it's the perspective of Jelle. The camera is on his wheelchair, and he has on his lap his iPad for interviewing the minister. And he's talking about shoes. It's not so much important what they're saying on the moment, although it was a lovely interview and hopefully soon will be translated. So here you see Jelle, he has his speech device, and here's his cam. He also used, and that's interesting because I come back on it later, you see him in his wheelchair. He has an electric wheelchair, and you can use the wheelchair in a way as a static tool. You can go up, you go down, you can have stand almost on the highest level if somebody's standing with you. And in a way that already helps to make contact with others.
Kunnen doen door middel van film. En hoe zou u dat dan doen? Nou, eerlijk gezegd.
The interesting question was, Jelle said, how do you tell stories about, for example, about his shoes? He has a shoe fetish. And he never thought about how it would be if you can't speak. It was interesting because he is our minister about AAC.
Ik heb me dat nooit afgevraagd.
But he is thinking about it now. So for me, the most important scene, the film will be translated soon. This is the set which everyone can try to get, or maybe start with a phone or a cam or a tablet, or as professional as Jelle is nowadays. Okay. So this is a bit small, but we will share the PowerPoint later with the practical tips. So the teaching for today is how can I make a film? I walk just through it and just have a look at it after that, because it's a lot of information. One most important thing, which I didn't put in yet, filmmaking is just doing it. You take your cam and you start making movies and watch them back. And in that way, you become a better and better improved filmmaker. So there are different types of filmmaking. The great thing of the short film festival this year of Isaac is there's a total freedom of creativity. So you can choose what kind of movie you want to make. So there are 1,000 options. I just say a couple of here. You could make a documentary about your life or about any topic. If I say you can also promote others or your students or clients or persons, family members to take part of this festival. It could be a vlog. I will show you some impressions later, a reportage about something, or you could create a movie. Like I said, you could be as professional as Jelle is nowadays with a cam. And if you would have been in the Netherlands, I would love to share you. You could use our stuff. If you're not, then I promote to get contact with other art students. Maybe they can help. But you could start with your mobile phone, a tablet, and even nowadays some STDs can make some film footage, but it's very limited. It could be an option. So how is AAC merged through this? It's everywhere, in every stage, and we started to explain it in the pre-production. So you can use all kinds of AAC, and like Chris is focused on technology, but also other devices. Am I right? You agree? It's especially to give also some comfort. Like today, Jelle made his presentation with a preparation, with a double check. Since we're Dutch, I'm struggling here too with my Dutch. It's nice to do some pre-production because that gives some comfort. A script, you can make a short script or a very complex script, but just think about the where, when, what, how, what do you want to film? All those words you could put in your AAC and make a script or on your computer, if you're literate. If you have someone who wants to do that, you can assist. You use AAC to communicate with your crew members. That could be another interviewer, that could be you. That could be a film totally created by yourself, but still it's very handy to have a kind of a plan. You have to prepare yourself for the location, maybe some short information that you're making a film for a film festival or a personal film or a vlog. You could do an interview like you saw Jelle with the minister. He did a big part just spontaneous by typing, and he's very quick in that. But it does give some comfort to do some stuff in front. Yeah. You agree? Yeah. Good. Yeah. We should do this together. So as you look at those points, bullet points, you see there's a lot of interaction with the AAC. A script, even you could make your own movie. I don't know the right word. You could make a romantic movie or an action movie or whatever. And then you come to a proper script and then you can imagine you're going to work with actors. And then you have to write and type and or use symbols, whatever, in an amount. I don't have film footage for that part because I think the pre-production is the thinking, the preparation of going out there, the production. So you could do that flexible just by your hands if you have that mobility. I'm a very flexible filmmaking. I love to, like now, I love to show you the whole studio. But you could also use a static arm, for example. A wheelchair or a walker could create possibilities for mounting an arm on, like Jelle has. Yeah. He has a couple. Yeah. Does it work? Yeah. Yeah. Took us a couple of years to find the perfect one. And if he swapped his wheelchairs, we have another challenge. But there are possibilities nowadays. And if you want to have contact with us, we can give you some advice on that. You could do the film work, the productions on separate locations or just one. You could do it in 1 or more days. Then the interviewing, again, you use your device, of course, if you want, and all other ways of AAC modes, of course. Yeah. You use it during the interviewing, but could also be in the acting if you have actors who's going to be part of your film. Or most important, and especially for the augmented filmmakers, the directing of the movie, because it's their movie. Another way, which I don't really talk about now, but a lot of vloggers do walking and talking. That's a term of Sarah Pink and anthropology, is that when you're filming, like I would do now, it's like I can make a different corner for me and Jelle, is that I'm walking and talking and filming. That is nice because then you get the word stipped on the moment when you are making the film footage. So now I'm going to go back to one of our filmmakers, our famous ones is Valerie. And then I hope you can look at all the different levels again of AAC and filmmaking in one production. But she did a lot of pre-production before she started making the film. There she is. There she is.
Hallo allemaal. Welkom bij mijn 4e vlog. Veel kijkplezier. Ik ben naar mijn favoriete winkel geweest om een vaderdag cadeautje te halen. Ik word hier altijd extra verwend.
So you hear her voice. In a way, she always has a camera person with her. Sometimes she mounts her phone on her wheelchair, and then she makes some film footage of her own. But she loves to introduce, give everybody a role in her production, I think. This is a nice puzzle, huh? Jelle's gonna help me with that. We do it like this. No, it's fine. So some practical film tips. Again, just read them quite after we will share this. Franklin, for sure, this one I'm gonna share because this is your little tiny book with golden tips to become the filmmaker. Always be conscious when you're filming. I think a lot of people just nowadays just make some film footage, but then the film footage will be not as pretty as it could be. Move slowly. So if you use your cam, you could count almost the flow of your filmmaking, and you have to keep in mind that there is an audience who's watching it later on. Don't make shorter scenes than 10 seconds, because that will be really challenging to watch or to edit later on. Some of my students keep on telling loudly, 1, 2, so you hear them counting. Don't do that, but think about it before you're doing it. Framing. I love close-ups. They were very useful, especially when you want to tell something about something really specific. Then you make a focus on where you want to say something about or how you want to use it. Well, I don't know the right English words, but it's half total. It means like, for example. No, you have a better word, huh? He's going to look the proper word. Sorry. Medium shot. Medium shot, and what's the total?
Long shot or extra long shot?
Good. That means, for example, I could make a close-up of Jelle.
There are 9 different shots you can make.
So, yeah, well, you try to make film teaching in 30 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so this is this is not even a close-up. Can you get closer? So, never zoom. go up to your topic or ask your topic to come closer.
Yeah.
Well, now it becomes already a medium shot, and if you want us all, including over there, Chris, you ask for a total shot.
Yeah.
What is important of this, exactly what I said, just don't zoom in, but just walk up or get your topic closer. You have different perspectives. That means, so we do this fun, huh? It's a bit scary. This is like a bird perspective, then we are small, or we could be huge. And you can play with that. It's a practical thing, but it makes the film less static. So make a mixture of close-ups, total shots, and perspectives like bird, frog perspectives, bird eye perspective. Sorry. We have that. You could use interviews with AEC in it, or some storytelling through it, like I'm doing all the time. Just try and play with it and try to be creative. There are no boundaries, I think, in filmmaking. There are a couple, but we skip them in this stage of filmmaking. Wheelchairs can be very handy for framing and close-ups.
Yeah.
You agree? Very handy. Good. Well, this is how we make our films. Even the minister is happy with us. Anyway, another filmmaker of us is Lars. And then again, think about all those different things we were just talking about. You're really getting into this, huh? Okay. Lars. So now we are at a concert of a Dutch band. Again, look at the set. You see, I wish that thing goes away, but the camera is there. You see it here. And there's the device. This is Lars. Lars was a student at special needs school, but now he is at a film art school. And this is Marijn, and they collaborated. They didn't know each other. They just went to the stage and start making the film. And they communicate not only with, I have to do it like this, with the SGD, but also with the cam, because they both could see what they were filming. And they were discussing it. One of the discussions they had is that Marijn is a drummer, and he was keeping focus on the drummer, and Lars didn't agree. He wanted the total shot, the large, long shot. So let's see what they're doing. Just get back here, because this is, I think, the most important part. So it's short, and we have a lot of film footage on our website. It's not promoting, but I just want to get some points through. Again, you see how all those different levels of production are one mixture. The best thing of Lars and Marijn was, for example, how you see how peers with AAC or with complex communication needs and regular students just interact in all those three stages of pre-production, production, and later on in the post-production. Yeah. And they have one target, that's the production. I think it's a really nice way of connecting young people with each other. So the post-production is the editing stage. We have some footage how Lars does that. He does it with his feet and with his eyes. That's really challenging. If there's more questions about the accessibility to film editing or the camera gear, just get in contact with us. We could help to give some advice. We don't have wonders, but we do have a lot of experience nowadays, I think. So the post-production is you're creating your film during the editing. Then I have to say, you can also use the raw material if you don't want to edit. I am already pleased if we get some insights in the world of different corners of our world with Isaac, with raw material. And we could, from here in the Netherlands, assist in the post-production with editing, if that's wished. But what we do with editing is creating a storyline. You choose the scenes you want to use and you place them in the right order that you want to share the story with. I can't really give a whole class in online teaching on editing, but we are here, and Jelle is here if you want to do that and get more information about it. What you see then is really you're going to integrate AAC support with symbols, sounds like Jelle did, the typing during the editing. You could put in titles, subtitles, or symbols. So then you merge it to a whole. I will show a little footage on that. What you could do is linking the words you create with AAC to specific scenes. So like we do with titles, but in a way, you know when you want to say something. He's off the cameras. And a link, so you link the AAC now specifically to images. You could use voiceover as you did, and then later on also use subtitles. I think it's interesting if you look now, if you saw this all to Valerie, no, which Luke, and he shows how he integrated all those different parts. Again. So this is Luke. He does a lot of filmmaking himself, and he's gonna make one big film soon.
Het leven zoals andere mensen van mijn leeftijd, maar uiteraard gaat er ook veel anders. In de eerste weken van corona kwamen zij niet, maar nu gelukkig weer wel.
So you see here his edit set. He's editing with all the devices connected. It's like a whole studio. He mostly uses eye gaze, I think. I don't think he uses with the editing, to be honest.
Okay.
I have to check that. But you could do it with with eye gaze, but it is really challenging. Most of the kids we work with use eye gaze in combination with, how do you say? Chris, how do you call the buttons you push on? Switches. And then you connect the switch, which Lars, for example, used with his feet. We have some footage on our web channel, because it's mostly a combination. But if you want to have more information about it, please contact us.
Met hun kan ik de dingen doen die ik leuk vind. Met mijn ogen kan ik mijn spraakcomputer en gewone computer bedienen.
Yeah. And he has a professional camera nowadays, and he connected also on his wheelchair. So in a way, his whole wheelchair becomes like you have, in a static in a way, but which is not that static. So that's kind of great. So that was Luke. He has his own YouTube channel. Just have a look at it. It's mostly Dutch yet, but hopefully soon in English. So then is the moment you can show your film. You can introduce your film. You make this whole package ready to show it to your audience, or just keep it for yourself. I really hope that a lot of people in the field of AAC will more and more use film, because it's really practical to tell stories with and easy. And nowadays with social media, there are different formats how you can share it. Of course, from Isaac, we promote our new Isaac Camelwheels reporters team. We will tell more about this also during the Isaac Connect conference. But we are here starting up, and we're still looking for reporters who are interested to it. Also, I promote everyone to make a film, maybe a small film. And if there's any help needed in the filming or editing or the gear or the accessibility, you're more than welcome to contact us again. So what we can do is the editing and filming and the AAC technology collaboration in a workshop, training, or just online one-on-one is also just fine. We can do that during the pre-production, the production, post-production. Well, if you want to know more about the YouTube channel, just keep an eye on our website. The next webinar will be the 18th of June, and will be focused on children and how they can make films. We're going to promote that as a tool for in schools, but also at home, because I think stories cross from home to school and the other way around. And we can assist you if you want to apply or submit a film for the film festival. This is our contact information. I think this will be shared later too. I'm sorry for my English. I'm still struggling with that. I think your proper English was very great today. And Chris, of course, he's safe with his native language. Okay, I think this was our workshop. I am wondering if there are any questions. Kevin. Okay, now I need my silly glasses to read. Oh, no, don't do that, huh? We're a great team, huh?
There is not any questions. So far, but I did want to me chime in that the info for the film festival and the project is now on the Isaac website for people to read and as of this morning, it has the promo videos on it. Yesterday there is not any questions so far, but I did want to chime in that the info for the film festival and the project is now on the Isaac website for people to read, and as of this morning it has the promo videos on it.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And I hope we can promote that, we can assist whatever we can do for it. It's a good plan. What do you think?
Yeah.
Good.
If anybody has questions, please type them in the chat. If anybody has questions, please type them in the chat.
Yeah, what I can do a short introduction about the last seminar that will be focused on children. We also promote that for teachers or SLTs to watch what you could do with it, or parents. And I also presented in a way that children could watch it themselves with some practical tips. So that will be focused. That will also be more integrated with the work of Chris in schools and Jelle, who's working with children nowadays. So more than welcome for the next one too.
On that note, I think we are done. Ten minutes early.
He talks really quick.
Which is a good record. On that note, I think we are done 10 minutes early, which is a good record.
Yeah, I think everybody needs a weekend. Yes.
A very quick webinar we've done.
Yeah, well, we managed. I was scared that I would take hours how to explain things. So, but everybody is more than welcome to contact us. We're full-time working here, huh?
Yeah.
We're not going home anyway. So this is it. Thank you all. And thank you, Kevin and Franklin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.